It's not a Sunday, and I'm sorry for not posting the video yesterday, but like I always say, I don't want to bring you a video because it's a frequency that I've made that I should bring a video, but I want to bring a video because I have something that I have to tell you. So I was just thinking today, like, what am I going to tell you guys today? And then I realized that we didn't finish our topic last week. I think I just touched a little bit of therapy being godly. And so after I posted that video, I had a lot of feedback from a lot of people just talking about how they agree with the fact that therapy is actually godly. And most of them just started giving examples of, or testimonies of something that happened to them. A friend of mine actually said her 2020 was actually really bad, and what helped her was the fact that she found therapy. And she said one statement that I think should be our basis of the topic today. She said therapy is godly and vulnerability is not weakness. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about this week. Vulnerability is not a weakness. And one of the reasons why I'm stressing this is because we humans, we don't like to be vulnerable, because then you feel like, I mean, if somebody is having all this power over me, if somebody is getting into my business like that, if somebody is knowing all these things about me, that means they can use that against me. So that means I'm in my weakest point. That's a weakness. But I just want to encourage somebody and say that it might seem like a weakness, but I think it's actually a strength. It's a strength that you have, because if I can open up to somebody because I want to be helped, it takes courage, it takes boldness, it just takes, having to know that I need to be in a better place. And it doesn't matter if I look weak in the moment, but I know that after I talk to somebody, I'm going to get strength in the inside and I'll be able to achieve this and that, or that and this. So I want to encourage somebody. And I just want to give an example of a certain lady that I know. She had been in boarding school. She came from a background that wasn't so good. And so the mother was struggling, she came from some village somewhere. And so when she had passed her grade 8, the mom then tried to find ways for her to be sponsored by the government so she can go to a boarding school somewhere. And she went from, like, I think the 10th grade or something, and then she was that side. During the holiday, she couldn't really come back because they didn't even have transport money for her to go back home. And so she would just stay at school. Some teachers would help her out, and eventually after some time she just got caught up in the whole life in the town, that she didn't want to go back to the village anymore. But then when I look at the relationship that I have with my mother, for example, I can't imagine staying away from her for that long. Like, yes, I might not come from a very good background, but I mean, my mother, your parent is your parent. My mother is my mother. It doesn't matter whether she's poor, she's disabled, or whatever it is that she's going through. But this girl, she got to a point where she just felt like, I don't need anything from my mother anymore. I'm doing my education, I've made new friends, I've met new families, so I don't need to go back. And you think it's just, it's just high school. After she graduates, she's gonna go back. But then again, she got sponsorship and she went out of the country to study. And, she was doing so well that side. She stayed all her years without coming back into the country. And when she graduated, I was out of the country as well. And I knew I was excited to come back because I'd missed my family. But this girl just didn't want to go home. Like, even when she came back into the country, she didn't want to go and see her mother. And, like, my mom and I sat down and we just wanted to understand, why would somebody not want to meet their mother after so long? And so we started to look at scenarios. We were talking about it with my mom, and we started thinking, okay, what could make you, Sheila, not want to come and see me? Like, even what would I have done that could make you just want to cut yourself off from me? And then as we were talking, we started to think about, like, maybe her background, maybe when she was growing up, there was something that had happened in the home. Maybe the mom, trying to meet ends, had done something. Maybe her dad had done something to her and the mom didn't believe. Maybe the uncle, I don't know. I really don't know. And maybe you could have a similar story. I'm not in your house. I'm not from your background, so I may not understand. But maybe something had happened that had triggered this girl to say, I never want anything to do with my mother. And so maybe you have a similar story and you're saying, I never want anything to do with my mother, my father, my siblings, my aunt, my teacher, whatever would have happened. But then we realized that this girl, no matter what she does, she's enclosed. You can have the best party, she would just be in her cocoon. You could throw the best conversations, she will not talk. You could, do something nice for her, she's just enclosed. She could wear nice clothes, but she still won't look nice. Why? Because there is a lot going on in the inside of her that keeps her enclosed. There is something going on in the inside of her that she needs to heal from. She's not physically sick, but there is something eating her up on the inside that she needs therapy for. And so maybe you're like her, you've tried so many things, you're doing your best, but it doesn't just seem to flourish because, something happened. You have cut off certain people because something happened. but you just need to be vulnerable to someone. This week for me was one of the most hardest weeks that I've had in a while. I was just, in a place, and I had to use my own advice on me, the same therapist, godly thing. We were waiting on a contract to be signed. My contract had ended at work, and we're waiting for a new one to be signed. And Lord, I was anxious. Lord, I was just in the worst place last week. And I looked at myself and I said, I don't want to feel the way I'm feeling. I felt, anxious. I felt unease. I felt so like a certain way, and I said, you know what, I just need to talk to somebody. So I called my mom and I just told her how I felt about everything. I talked to a couple of my friends. I just wanted to release that thing that I was feeling on the inside. And as I was interacting with these people that are close to me in my circle, they just said certain things that lifted up my spirit. So yes, I was going through a tough time. Yes, I was anxious, but after talking to people, they just have a way of, lifting up your spirit. So I just want to encourage you this week. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know where you are in your life. I don't know how afraid you are of being vulnerable, but I just want to encourage you that therapy is godly and vulnerability is not a weakness. Be vulnerable to someone. That might just help you. So thank you. God bless you. I love you guys.